Welcome back. We have Lori Smith back in studio today. Over the last 3 weeks, we have been airing her segments based on her blog series about reclaiming your family off of your website, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, let's just talk about a little bit about what we've seen over the last few weeks.
Yes. So my blog right now, we're focusing on reclaiming your family. I'm getting ready to launch my new blog branding, and so that's going to be my first blog series.
Okay.
And so we've been talking about what that even means and how would you do that. And you know, we have chaotic lives, and so one of the first tips that I talked about was creating a mission statement for your family.
Yeah, because I mean, we have so many things that everything's important.
Yes.
I mean, that's how I feel like it is. And so one of the things you're doing by creating a mission statement is deciding what is the most important and what's going to come along to support that. So kind of tell us a little bit again about how the things we need to think about there on the mission statement.
Yeah, you want to kind of know as a family what your direction is. If you don't know where you're headed and what you're doing, everything becomes chaotic, and that's where the stress comes in for a family. So in a mission statement, you're thinking together as a family, where are we headed?
Yeah.
And how do we come together and go towards that mission together?
How long have you been so mindful about this kind of thing?
Well, you know, I think it's just from learning as I go, because my kids were, you know, I've got them raised and I had to learn this as I go. So it's just experience, Cami.
Yeah, and that's what I love too, is that, you know, to look to someone who has a little bit more experience or is one step ahead of you so that we can learn and get to that point. So some of the other things that we talked about, they were all very practical things, but they still came back to support, you know, reclaiming your family.
Yes, when you're rushing out the door and you're trying to make things happen really fast for your family, it's great to have supplies placed and a mud room and things in your garage to be able to grab and drop really quick. So that's kind of what we went over then.
Yeah, and you are very organized. I have a lot of things that I'm learning for her as we go. So where will your blog go from this point?
Okay, so like I said, we're getting ready to launch, and we're going to kind of go a little bit more in depth of what you and I talked about over the next few weeks of how to actually break down and go into creating a mission statement and how to build a family team. And how to create rhythms and routines in your family to support the mission that you want for your family.
Talk to me just a little bit more about family team. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, well, I think that in our efforts to highlight individuals, we might have swung the pendulum a little bit too far. And instead, we need to maybe come back a little bit and create a team where we're all there for one another, supporting one another, headed in the same direction with the same focus on mind.
I think that we do kind of focus on launching our kids because we want them to be successful members of society.
That's right.
What's your viewpoint on that? You just launch them and there you go? Like,
well, I mean, my family, my goal is to continue to support them and be a part of their lives, but I'm finding that they're also supporting me and my dreams and the things that I want to be a part of now. And so I think when you create that team mindset, it's not just all about me, we're supporting one another.
Okay, so just to kind of wrap up the last few weeks again, this is like, there's so many things important, there's so much chaos going on. If you could like bring that down to one final thought for us, what would that be?
Well, as you begin to calm the chaos in your life, you're just going to have to look at the next best step, the next best thing to do, rather than become overwhelmed with everything, because that's usually why we stay stuck in chaos and we become paralyzed. So it's one step at a time, and that's why I'm encouraging on a mission to get the families to say, what is our mission? Oh,
I love it. You're bringing it back to the family, the core, and supporting each other, and that's what, to me, what life is all about, is about relationship. How do we find your blog?
My blog is LoriJSmith.com, and you'll look in there and see a tab, get into my blog, and find out all those little details.
Okay, and we've got more coming up from Lori. Actually, she's co-hosting with me on Monday, so we're looking forward to that. Well, Blake is off. So thank you so much, Lori, and I can't wait to see more and dig in deeper with you.
Yes, thank you.